Good evening. Tonight we're going to be designing a prison in Tiny Glade so that we have a place to send all of the wage slaves when they haven't gathered enough wheat. We're going to go ahead and start by demolishing this lame orphanage that is just taking up space in our village. That was funded by those greedy socialists anyway, so we're going to replace it with something a little bit more palatable to the free market. The next thing that we need to do is make sure that we remove all traces of happiness and serenity from the scene. The prisoners don't need anything pretty to look at, and the upkeep would just be a useless waste for our shareholders. Now that there's nothing left but the imprint of a cosmic eggplant emoji, we're going to move on to the next most important step, the walls. Now, when we determine the height of the walls, we want to make sure that they're not low enough that the prisoners can jump over, but they're also not high enough that their screams can't be heard by the villagers and the surrounding buildings. I usually find this to be a good height because we're realistically not going to be locking up anyone over 5'4". I'm making this building look like the stairs to the fiery pits of hell so that prisoners are reminded of where they're going. The most intelligent among them will realize that they're already there. Every wasteful dollar spent is a dollar that has been stolen from the shareholder. So it's always important when designing a prison to make sure that all of the buildings serve more than one purpose. In this example, I'm making a building that will serve as both a prison block and a gallows, so that we can hang prisoners and remind other prisoners that the only way out of this torture is the cold embrace of death. Here's a free life hack. If you get inmates to do your farming for you, the minimum wage is 0. You can work them as much as you want and don't have to pay them a dime. It doesn't count as slavery because they've been very bad boys. You can save a lot of space by just not allowing the prisoners to stand up while in solitary. If they're lying down as if they're in a coffin, then you need a fraction of the space. Don't get me wrong, it's not all doom and gloom. The most wealthy and impressive part of the prison should be the warden's mansion, to remind all of the prisoners that they are mere mortals living among gods, and they will never see the fruits of their labor. The final cherry on top of the prison is the entrance gate. You might be wondering how we prevent prisoners from escaping, given that there's just a hole in the wall. Well, here at this prison, we believe in being sustainable. So any escaping prisoner is promptly shot with a volley of arrows and turned into fertilizer to be recycled. It looks like we've finished the prison, delivering lots of value to the shareholders. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. Make sure to tune in next week when I show you how we're going to turn these into $6,000 a month Florida apartments.